Hello, welcome to Foreign Matters, titled Obama's War. Bush broke it, Obama owns it. His presidency has to fix it. He'll have to do it without much help from the continental European NATO countries. Behind the scenes at this weekend's NATO summit, the Americans will be asking more Europeans to do some fighting in Afghanistan, and they'll be saying, thanks for saying please, but we still can't do it. Obama's plan is to take money and manpower to glue the fragmenting states of Afghanistan and Pakistan, AFPAK, back together. The hawks have won the debate in Washington, and the American public is being prepared for an escalation of action in both countries. The US intends to reinforce its military, buy off some Taliban commanders, clear territory, hold it, build the Afghan National Army, and then substantially withdraw within 4 years. At the same time, they'll throw money at Pakistan whilst throwing missiles at the Pakistan Taliban. And therein lies the rub. Obama will give $1.5 billion a year in aid to Pakistan. In return, Islamabad is supposed to smash the groups which control the northwest frontier, bordering Afghanistan. It's a continuation of the Bush policy. The northwest frontier was supposed to be an anvil upon which the US forces would crush the Taliban and Al-Qaeda. And it turned into a sponge which just soaked them up. After 9/11, the Americans insisted Pakistan must dismantle the groups it had helped set up in the 1980s. According to President Musharraf, the US threatened to bomb Pakistan back into the Stone Age if they didn't cooperate. The groups had been formed to counter India in Kashmir and impose a friendly government in Kabul. Musharraf agreed to act against them, but the tiger, feeling betrayed, threw off its rider and began to bite. And it's helped by powerful people within the Pakistani military and intelligence services who still believe the groups are a long-term guarantee of security against the Indians. Hence the Talib control of the northwest frontier, the Bhutto assassination, Marriott bombing, shootings in Lahore, the daily attacks on the police and on schools and mosques. In effect, the American pressure has resulted in a civil war in Pakistan. The US is asking the Pakistanis to kill large numbers of Pakistanis, and they're also intending to increase the number of their airstrikes that they carry out using Predator pilotless drones. So far, this method has killed almost half of the top 20 Taliban commanders, but there has been substantial civilian casualties. And there's also going to be an increase in special forces operations. The Americans may insist they are not on the ground inside Pakistan. It's an open secret they are. The US envoy, Richard Holbrooke, says the predators will also be going after dozens of illegal Taliban radio stations, which nightly broadcast the names of people they're going to behead. This will further inflame the northwest frontier and further endanger the vital supply route for NATO forces across the border. The alternative, though, is to grant the enemy complete freedom in its rear base. Catch-22. At the same time, the Taliban-Al-Qaeda alliance isn't going away, and in fact it's been meeting on both sides of the border to work out how to counter the American strategy for, quote, the sake of God's happiness and the strength of religion. This is now Obama's war, and he's about to escalate it. And the Americans, despite desperate pleas to the Europeans, will be doing most of the paying, the fighting and the dying. The British, who have done more than their share of fighting, may still come up with another 2,000 soldiers, but that's the maximum, that's their limit. What will Obama do if the Pakistanis cannot tame their tigers? They've already lost more than 700 soldiers trying. Obama can hardly cut off the flow of money. Without Pakistan, Afghanistan may become his Vietnam. And deep within the Pakistani system are a number of pro-Taliban people who look at the dollars flowing in from Washington and think, take the money and bomb. That's Foreign Matters. See you next time.